We're diving deep, real deep, into the world of the 1993 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Yes, that simple, ordinary-looking coin that most people don't give a second glance to might actually be a secret millionaire. Current estimated value? $1.1 million. Yep, you heard that right. 1.1 million. So get comfy, grab your jar of coins, and let's talk about how something so small could change your life in a big way. By the way, I once threw a penny at my brother for stealing my fries. Imagine if that had been the $1.1 million one. Let's not make that mistake again, huh? The 1993 Lincoln penny, yeah, the one with Abe Lincoln chillin' on the front, was minted in the billions. Most were made in Philadelphia, Denver, and a few at the San Francisco Mint. But here's the kicker, the Philadelphia Mint didn't use a mint mark. So if your coin says 1993, and there's no letter under the date, guess what? That's your no mint mark penny. Now wait, that doesn't mean it's automatically worth $1 million. So what's the catch? It all comes down to errors, rarity, and condition. Let's break that down. We're talking about some wild ones here. Double dies, off-centers, clipped planchets, and even coins struck on the wrong type of metal. The most valuable 1993 no-mint mark penny ever found had a double die obverse, meaning Lincoln's face, the date, and "In God We Trust" were slightly doubled. It's subtle but powerful, like a ghost version of Abe giving you financial advice. Another case was a wrong planchet error, a penny struck on a dime blank. Imagine a coppery coin, but super thin and lighter than usual. These are unicorns in the coin world. Let's be real, 1993 pennies aren't rare. But rare errors from 1993 with no mint mark? Now you're talking next level collector bait. Only a few are confirmed to exist with these premium traits. This one's crucial. A coin with $1 million error still won't fetch a fraction of that if it's all scratched up and looks like it went through a blender. The $1 million penny was graded MS-68 red by a top coin grading service. That's like being the valedictorian of pocket change. I once spent an entire weekend digging through every single coin I had. Yes, I even raided my old Monopoly box. My spouse thought I'd gone rogue. But here's the thing, I actually found a 1993 no-mint mark penny that looked suspiciously perfect. I was sweating like I just found buried treasure. Took it to a local coin dealer. Turns out it was worth 3 cents. Hey, not every dig turns up gold, but the adrenaline rush was real, and that moment made me realize every coin has a story. And yours just might be worth $1 million. Let's talk about coin grading, the magical and slightly intimidating process that decides whether your coin is a rare treasure or just lunch money. You want your 1993 penny to be in at least MS-65 or higher for serious value. That means sharp details, no major scratches, shiny luster, basically, the George Clooney of pennies. Grading companies like PCGS or NGC can help. Yes, it costs a bit, but if your penny could be worth $1.1 million, that $30 fee is peanuts. And pro tip, never clean your coin. I know, it sounds weird, but cleaning destroys value faster than you can say. Soapy sponge. A 1993 no-mint mark penny with a dramatic die clash and flawless grade sold at a private auction for, drumroll, $1.1 million. The buyer? An anonymous collector who called it the holy grail of modern pennies. That's not just a collector's win, that's life-changing wealth. Other similar 1993 era pennies have sold for $5,000, $12,000, even $25,000. So even if yours isn't the $1 million unicorn, it could still fund a vacation, or several. Grab your 1993 pennies, look for the no mint mark, use a magnifying glass, check for doubling, off-centering, or any weird shapes, compare it online with error listings or Reddit coin communities. If it looks promising, send it in for grading. Don't have the tools? Ask a local coin shop or a fellow collector. You'd be surprised how helpful the coin community is, unless you owe them a soda from 1996. That a humble penny from 1993 could buy you a house, a luxury car, or a whole new lifestyle. All you need is one error, one perfect condition, and one moment of luck. This isn't just about coins. It's about curiosity, knowledge, and seizing opportunity. That penny in your pocket could be more than loose change, it could be your big break. Now do me a favor, go check your couch cushions, your piggy banks, your junk drawers. And if you find that $1,000,000 penny, remember who sent you looking. If you like this video, smash that like button like it's your student loan balance. Subscribe for more awesome coin tips, stories, and strategies that'll help turn your everyday change into extraordinary wealth. You might want to dig into those piles of coins because hiding in plain sight could be one of the rarest pennies in America, the 1979 D. Lincoln penny. And guess what? One of these bad boys recently turned heads when it was valued at a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. Yes. You heard that right. $1.2 million. For a penny. A coin most of us overlook or throw into tip jars without a second thought. But don't worry, we're not just going to drop that bomb on you and walk away. Nope. Stick around, because in this video, we're diving deep into why this tiny copper coin is making millionaires out of everyday folks like you and me. And I'll even share a little story about how a penny almost paid for my new truck. Emphasis on almost. So grab your coffee, pull up that box of old coins, and let's go on a treasure hunt. You're gonna love this ride. Let's start with a little perspective. Most people think a penny is worthless these days. You can't even buy bubblegum with it. But collectors? They know better. Some pennies aren't just pocket change. They're history. They're art. And in rare cases, they're pure gold. Well, figuratively speaking, the 1979 D. Lincoln penny is one of those surprising gems. At first glance, it looks just like any other penny, copper-colored, Lincoln's profile, date stamp, and that little D below the year, signifying it was minted in Denver. So what makes this penny worth $1.2 million? Spoiler alert, it's not just about the date or the mint mark. It's about a rare error. And you're gonna want to hear this. In 1979, the US Mint was still using copper for pennies, mostly, anyway. The exact composition was 95% copper and 5% zinc. But not all coins were struck perfectly. Now, coin errors can be anything from double strikes, misaligned dies, off-centers, clipped planchets, you name it. And it just so happens that some 1979 D pennies were minted with incredible striking errors that made them extremely rare. One specific 1979 D penny was found to have a double die obverse. Basically, the design on the front was struck twice, slightly off from each other. This created a unique shadow effect, especially around the lettering like "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." Collectors love that kind of thing. It's like finding a misprinted baseball card or a dollar bill with upside-down numbers. It's quirky, unique, and highly sought. So how does that translate to millions? Well, it all boils down to supply and demand. Only a handful of these era pennies from 1979 with the Denver Mint mark are known to exist in mint, or near mint condition. That's less than a dozen. Now imagine hundreds of collectors battling it out in an auction. Bidding wars start. Emotions get high. The price climbs. And before you know it, one very lucky owner walks away with a 7-figure check. What makes it even wilder? Most people never even knew they had a rare coin. Some were found in change jars. One guy literally found his in a gas station tray where people leave pennies to. Take a penny, leave a penny. Alright, time for a little personal story. So, about 5 years ago, I was helping my grandpa clean out his garage. You know the type, boxes everywhere, old newspapers, dusty tools, and a big mason jar full of pennies. Being the curious coin nerd I am, I took it home, dumped it out, and started sorting through it. And there it was, a 1979 D penny. My heart skipped a beat. I immediately grabbed a magnifying glass and a flashlight, praying for an error, and yep, there was doubling. On the "In God We Trust" text. I was about to dance right there in my kitchen. I even called a coin dealer the next day. Long story short, it was close, but not the one. Slight doubling, but not enough to be considered the $1 million variety. Heartbreak? Yes. But hey, now I know what to look for. And I haven't stopped hunting since. So, how can you tell if your 1979 D penny is worth a fortune? Here's a quick guide. Look closely at the "In God We Trust, Liberty" and the date, 1979. If the letters look shadowed or doubled, that's a strong indicator. The cleaner, shinier, and more perfect the coin, the more it's worth. Collectors pay top dollar for uncirculated or mint state, graded coins. If you think you've got something, don't just rely on Google Images. Take it to a professional coin grader or a reputable dealer. You don't need fancy equipment. A decent magnifying glass and good lighting go a long way. Now, I know what you're thinking. Should I just go out and buy a bunch of 1979 D pennies? Well, not quite. Here's the smarter approach: check your own collection. Look in the couch cushions, car seats, and old jars. You'd be surprised what shows up when people don't know what they have. Join online forums or local coin clubs. Sometimes the best finds come through word of mouth. Don't fall for fakes. Know your mint marks, understand grading scales, and get familiar with error types. The 1979 D Lincoln penny is more than just a coin. It's a reminder that wealth can be hiding in plain sight. That something as ordinary as a penny could be your ticket to a life-changing discovery. Remember, it's not always about luck. It's about awareness. Paying attention. Being just curious enough to flip that coin over, look a little closer, and ask, what if? Maybe you've already walked past a fortune at the grocery store, dropped it in a tip jar, or given it as exact change. But not anymore. Now you know better. So, go check those coins. Look for that 1979 D with the magical doubling. And if you find one, well, just promise you'll invite me to your celebration party, alright? Before you go, smash that like button, subscribe for more amazing coin tips and millionaire stories from the world of numismatics, and drop a comment below telling me your best coin find ever. Let that sink in. 1 cent worth $1 million. That's 130 million% profit. Now that's what I call a good investment. So, if you've ever tossed pennies in a jar, left some in your car's cup holder, or stuffed some in your junk drawer for later, today might just be your lucky day. Stick around because we're diving deep into this golden nugget of history. What makes the 1960 D penny so insanely valuable, how to spot the special ones, and why some collectors are basically losing their minds over it. And hey, I'll even share a personal story about how one innocent trip to a garage sale turned into a coin adventure that changed how I look at loose change forever. So grab your coin jar, maybe a magnifying glass, and settle in. Because we're going full copper detective today. First things first, let's rewind the clock to 1960. It was the era of Elvis, black and white TVs, and tailfin Cadillacs. And while the world was grooving to rock and roll, the U.S. Mint in Denver was stamping out millions, literally millions, of Lincoln pennies with that tiny D under the date. Now, the 1960 D Lincoln cent might seem like just another coin at first glance. After all, over 1.5 billion of these were minted. Yes, billion with a B, but here's the kicker: not all 1960 D pennies are created equal. Some of them came out, let's just say, a little weird. And that's where the money is. Okay, let's nerd out for a second, but in a fun way. There are two main varieties of the 1960 D penny, the small date and the large date, and it's not just about font sizes. Oh no. Collectors go bananas over these differences. Small date versions had thinner, taller numerals, especially the 0, which looks tighter and a bit more squished. Large date. Think bolder, wider, a little more in your face. And then, enter the legendary double die errors. A double die happens when the coin die strikes the design twice, slightly misaligned, creating a shadow effect on the lettering or numbers. And the 1960 D small date double die obverse? That's the holy grail. It's like finding a golden ticket in your Wonka bar, but instead of chocolate, you've got $1 million copper coin. So why is this tiny coin commanding such insane prices? It's all about rarity. Plus condition plus collector frenzy. There are only a handful of verified, uncirculated grade 1960 D small date double die errors in existence. Point one of them, graded MS67RD by PCGS, sold at auction for over $1.30 million. That's not just a number. That's life-changing money. We're talking paying off your house, buying a Tesla, and still having enough left to visit Italy and eat gelato on a boat. But wait. Before you start dreaming of dollar signs, it's important to know what not to waste time on. Most regular 1960D pennies are worth about 2 cents due to copper value. That's right. You double your money, but still, not quite Lamborghini cash. To identify a small date, look at the 0 in the date. If it's oval and tight, you might be onto something. If it's wide and round, that's a large date. Still cool, but not mega bucks. Then look for doubling. Focus on the Liberty text and the date numbers. If they look doubled, like they've got a shadow, ding ding, you've got a winner. Use a jeweler's loupe or magnifying glass. Your naked eye might miss those details, and condition matters a ton. A circulated one might be worth a couple hundred, but uncirculated, cherry red examples? That's where the million-dollar dreams live. And hey, if you're unsure, get it graded by PCGS or NGC. Grading adds legitimacy. And if you're gonna ask someone for $1 million, you better have a second opinion. About 5 years ago, I hit a local garage sale in my neighborhood. Just killing time on a Saturday, looking for old records and maybe a quirky lamp. I saw this little tin box labeled Old Pennies $1. Inside? A mix of crusty coins, most from the 60s and 70s. I almost didn't buy it, but something said, why not? I took it home, dumped the contents on the table, and started poking around. One coin jumped out at me, a 1960D penny. I looked closer, small date. Even closer, Liberty looked a bit off. Was it doubled? I freaked out. I must have spent 3 straight hours cross-checking online photos, forums, videos, everything. I eventually sent it in for grading. Was it the $1 million one? Nah, mine was a bit too worn. But it still fetched $450 at auction, from a $1 garage sale tin. That's the moment I realized, this hobby is legit, and ever since then, I've been a full-blown coin nerd. And proud of it. Check your change. Focus on pennies from 1960, especially with a D mint mark. Learn to tell the small date from the large date. Look for doubling, especially around the date and Liberty. If in doubt, don't guess. Get it graded, join a local coin club or online forum. The community is amazing, and you'll learn a ton. Be patient. Not every penny is a jackpot, but the hunt? That's the real fun.so. There you have it. The tale of the 1960D mint mark Lincoln penny that might just make you a millionaire. Crazy to think one tiny coin, something most folks ignore, could be the key to unlocking serious wealth. It's out there. Right now. Maybe in your pocket. Maybe in a family jar. Maybe in that old shoebox in your attic.so. Keep looking. Stay curious. And never underestimate the value of something small. If you enjoyed this little coin journey, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe for more rare coin insights, and hit the bell so you never miss a chance to turn spare change into serious cash. And hey, got a story about a rare coin find? Drop it in the comments below. Let's swap stories. Who knows, you might inspire the next great treasure hunter out there. Imagine walking into your kitchen, reaching for that dusty jar of coins you've been ignoring for years, and pulling out a single penny, just one. Now imagine that same penny turning out to be worth $1.6 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? But here's the twist, it's not a fantasy, it's real. A rare 1988D mint mark Lincoln penny is making headlines and changing lives. And if you're holding on to one without knowing, you could be sitting on a financial goldmine. Now let me ask you this. When was the last time you actually looked at your pennies? Those little copper coins most people toss into drawers, glove compartments, or coin jars without a second thought. What if I told you that one mistake on a 1988 penny has transformed it from pocket change into a multi-million-dollar treasure? And there are still a few out there, waiting to be discovered. So don't blink. Because over the next few minutes, you'll learn what makes this coin so rare, how you can identify it, and, most importantly, how you might already own one and not even know it. And stick around to the end, because I'm going to reveal a collector's secret that could turn your ordinary-looking coins into extraordinary wealth. Back in 1988, the Denver Mint produced millions of Lincoln pennies. To most people, they all looked the same, just another copper coin featuring good old Abraham Lincoln. But hidden among those millions was a batch of coins containing a mysterious and valuable error. A minting mistake so subtle, even seasoned collectors sometimes overlook it. This rare error is known in collector circles as the transitional reverse error. Now, if that sounds like technical mumbo-jumbo, stay with me, because the impact of this error is huge. You see, the reverse design on some 1988 pennies accidentally used the design from 1989, creating a mismatch between the obverse and reverse. It's like minting a 2025 coin with the back of a 2026 coin, before 2026 even exists. Only a few of these error coins escaped into circulation. And because it was such a low-key error, most people never noticed. They spent them, lost them, or threw them into change jars. That's what makes these coins so rare, and so valuable. One of these 1988 D-era pennies recently sold for an eye-watering $1.6 million at a private auction, sending shockwaves through the coin-collecting world. Now here's the kicker. Some experts believe there are still a handful of these era pennies out there, hiding in plain sight. In your pocket. In your coin jar. Maybe even under your couch cushion. If you're watching this, it means you're not just curious, you're someone who sees opportunity. And right now, the opportunity is knocking. Let's pause for a second. Ever wonder how many millionaires you've unknowingly stood next to at the grocery store? Or maybe, just maybe, you're about to become one of them, thanks to a penny you already owe. WN.SO. How do you identify one of these $1 million 1988 D Lincoln pennies? Start by flipping the coin and examining the reverse, the back side of the penny. Look closely at the lettering, especially around the word America. If the letters A and M are unusually close together, forming what experts call the wide AM design used in 1989, then you might be holding the treasure everyone's searching for. Now, here's the urgency. These coins are in high demand. Coin dealers, private collectors, and auction houses are scouring the country for them. The prices are climbing, and availability is shrinking. Once these coins are gone from circulation and locked into private collections, they're not coming back. That's why you need to act now. Check your coins, get them evaluated, and consult a certified numismatist if you think you've got something special. And hey, before you think this is a once-in-a-lifetime fluke, remember this: coin collecting has always rewarded the curious, the bold, and the informed. You're not just watching this video for fun, you're investing in knowledge. And in a world where most people scroll past opportunities, you're the one who stopped. That says something. Now, let me plant one last seed in your mind. What if the next coin you touch is the one that changes everything? What if your path to financial freedom is sitting quietly in a shoebox under your bed? You see, it's not just about a lucky penny, it's about waking up to the value hiding in plain sight. Every coin has a story. Some just happen to be worth $1 million. Before you run to dig through your coin stash, and believe me, you should, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications. Because I've got more coin secrets coming your way. We're diving into the rarest finds, overlooked gems, and the smart strategies that everyday people, just like you, are using to build wealth through old change. And in the next video, we're uncovering another shocking penny error from the 90s that could be even rarer than the 1988 D. But you'll have to tune in to find out. Don't miss it. We're diving into the jaw-dropping truth behind the 1968 D penny, a coin that has taken the numismatic world by storm. You might think it's just pocket change, but the reality? It could fund your dream retirement, buy your dream home, or even spark your journey toward financial freedom. Now, I know what you're thinking. Seriously? A penny from 1968? I probably have a bunch of those collecting dust in a drawer. Exactly. That's why this story matters more than ever. Because someone, somewhere, just like you, recently sold a rare 1968 D penny with an error for a life-changing sum. And trust me, that coin didn't look like it belonged in a museum. It looked, Ordinary.so, what makes this penny so incredibly valuable? It's all about one thing: error. But not just any error. This is a rare coin that slipped through the cracks of the US Mint's strict quality control system. In some versions of the 1968 D penny, there's a dramatic doubling effect on the words, Liberty, or the motto, In God We Trust. In others, the mint mark itself, the tiny D for Denver, is misaligned or missing entirely, creating an ultra-rare variation that collectors are practically fighting over. Let me put it this way: if minting errors were Hollywood actors, this one would be Brad Pitt in his prime. It's desirable, rare, and the demand just keeps growing. And here's the kicker: the more people find out about these million-dollar pennies, the fewer there are left in circulation. Scarcity, after all, is what drives value sky high. Quick attention reset: have you checked your penny jar lately? Seriously. Because while you're binge-watching Netflix, your dusty coffee tin could be gaining value faster than the stock market. Now let's talk money. A verified 1968 D penny with a high-grade error recently fetched a stunning $1.7 million at auction. That's not a typo. And the reason? The collector community is booming. Wealthy buyers and high-end investors are turning their eyes toward rare coins as alternative assets. This penny isn't just historical, it's a hot commodity. With inflation rising and traditional investments getting shaky, coins like this are becoming the go-to for smart, wealthy individuals. And here's where the urgency kicks in: these pennies are vanishing fast. As word spreads and more people start hunting through their change, the odds of finding one are shrinking by the second. This isn't just about collecting, it's about timing. You don't want to be the person who realizes too late that the million-dollar penny was sitting in your palm the whole time. Let me share a true story. A retired mail carrier in Ohio spent decades tossing spare pennies into a jar. Nothing special, just a habit. Until one day, his grandson, a hobbyist, spotted an unusual 1968 D penny, one with a slight doubling on the date and a faintly struck mint mark. They sent it to a grading service. Weeks later, the coin was authenticated and valued at over $1.6 million. That penny didn't just buy them a new car. It paid off debts, funded college, and sparked a family-run coin business. This story isn't just a feel-good tale, it's a reminder that opportunity is often hiding in plain sight. You don't need to be a seasoned collector to strike gold. You just need to know what to look for, where to look, and why now is the time. Another quick attention check: what's the one item you haven't touched in years but might be worth more than your car? Yep. That drawer of old coins. Now here's the twist: there's more than one variation of the 1968 D penny. Some have mint errors that are still being discovered and evaluated, meaning the next record-breaking sale could feature a penny just like yours. And in our next video, I'll show you exactly how to evaluate these coins yourself, what tools you need, and how to get them graded by the pros. Take a good, hard look at your change. Because if there's even a small chance that you're holding on to a $1.7 million penny, wouldn't you want to know? So go ahead, check your coins, clean out that piggy bank, and remember, financial transformation sometimes starts with just 1 cent. Subscribe now, hit the bell so you don't miss our guide to identifying high-value pennies, and join thousands of others who are turning pocket change into powerful change. We're diving into one of the most exciting, rarest, and shockingly valuable coins in U.S. history, the 1976 D Lincoln penny. This isn't just a coin. It's a millionaire maker, a retirement booster, and possibly your personal lottery ticket you never cashed in. Before you skip past this thinking it's too good to be true, stay with me. What you're about to discover could transform how you look at every penny you've ever held. This isn't folklore, this is real, verifiable, and incredibly in demand. And people across America are scrambling to find theirs before it's too late. Now, let's travel back to 1976. America was celebrating its bicentennial, the big 200-year birthday. Fireworks, freedom, and national pride were everywhere. While quarters and half dollars were getting commemorative makeovers for the occasion, the humble penny was quietly continuing its standard design. Nothing flashy, right? The Denver Mint, responsible for billions of pennies, unknowingly produced a limited batch of 1970-60 Lincoln pennies with incredibly rare minting errors. These weren't your everyday scratches or dull finish coins. We're talking about dramatic die cracks, double die obverse, and even off-center strikes, errors that collectors now worship for their rarity and historical significance. And here's where things get thrilling. One such error coin surfaced in recent years, graded and authenticated, setting off a bidding war that ended at a staggering $1.80 million. Yes, you read that right again. One single copper coin. 1 cent turned into $1.8 million. Let that sink in. Just imagine the fear of missing out, someone else finding that exact kind of coin sitting right now in a jar in your attic. That's the power of timing, knowledge, and acting fast. That's the power of understanding what you own before it disappears into someone else's pocket. And no, you don't need to be a historian, a numismatist, or even a full-time collector to cash in. All you need is curiosity, a magnifying glass, and the next 10 minutes with me. Because we're just getting started. Because if you're still watching, you're probably wondering, what exactly makes this 1970-60 penny so valuable? Great question. Think of it as a blend of mystery, mistake, and miracle. The most valuable examples feature prominent double die errors, where the date, Liberty, or Lincoln's profile shows a shadowy doubling effect due to misaligned dies. Some have off-center strikes that partially remove the rim or design, making them not just rare but one of a kind. And others have cut breaks or die cracks, basically internal minting wounds that increase their uniqueness and value. Graded as MS65 or higher, skyrocket in value exponentially. That means if your penny has never been circulated, never touched harshly, and still gleams with its original luster, you could be sitting on gold, or in this case, $1.8 million copper. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Demand for this coin has exploded. Private collectors, auction houses, and even investment firms are actively hunting for this penny. Why? Because its value is no longer just historical, it's strategic. Rare coins are becoming blue-chip investments in an uncertain economy, and the 1970-60 penny is on everyone's radar. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, do I have one of these? That's exactly the energy you need. Go through your coin jars. Check your family's old coin collection. Ask your parents or grandparents if they ever held on to bicentennial era change. Because time is ticking, and every day, more of these coins are being found, sold, or, worse, lost forever. Rumors are circulating in the numismatic world that another even rarer version of the 1970-60 penny might exist, one struck on a foreign planchet, possibly aluminum or steel, due to a minting experiment gone wrong. If that coin surfaces, experts say it could fetch upwards of $5 million. And who's to say it's not already sitting quietly in someone's collection, waiting to be discovered? If this video has you even slightly excited, if you're starting to feel the itch to go digging through your old pennies, then you're already halfway there. This is your invitation to take action. Subscribe now because we regularly reveal insider knowledge about valuable coins, rare finds, and coin collecting strategies that could unlock hidden wealth right inside your home. The world of coins is more than a hobby, it's a lifestyle, a legacy, and for some, a lifeline. Don't let that one-in-a-million opportunity pass you by. Let's build wealth the smart, historic, and thrilling way, one penny at a time. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, it's just a penny, let me stop you right there. Because this particular penny isn't ordinary. It's hiding something rare, something powerful. In fact, if you're someone who's ever dreamed of financial freedom or living that life of ease and luxury, this tiny coin might just be your golden ticket. And today, I'm going to show you exactly why. The year was 1972, Nixon was president, the Vietnam War was still raging, and the Lincoln cent had already become an American icon. But beneath the surface of all those perfectly struck pennies, a mistake was born. A mistake that collectors today call a miracle. Among the millions of pennies minted in Philadelphia that year, a few slipped through with a mind-blowing error, one that would later catapult their value to over $1 million. Now, I know what you're thinking. How could a mint error make a coin worth that much? It's a fair question, and the answer lies in rarity, historical value, and human obsession. Collectors aren't just looking for old coins, they're searching for hidden gems, one-of-a-kind anomalies that whisper history. The 1972 no-mint mark penny, particularly those with the double die obverse error, fits that bill perfectly. You might want to check your penny jar after this video, because missing this could cost you millions. First, the no-mint mark indicates it was struck in Philadelphia, the oldest U.S. mint facility. While that alone isn't rare, the error variety is what skyrockets its value. We're talking about a double die obverse, where the date, the word liberty, and even in God we trust appear dramatically doubled. It's a striking visual that stops coin experts in their tracks. These doubling effects weren't caught immediately. By the time they were discovered, a small number had already circulated. Fast forward to now, and collectors are paying top dollar to own one. The demand has never been higher. Why? Because only a handful are in mint state, and even fewer are preserved in MS65 plus red condition, the ultimate dream grade. And here's the kicker: people have found these coins in change, in dusty drawers, even inside old piggy banks passed down from grandparents. One man found his tucked in an old envelope. He had no idea it was worth six figures until a dealer confirmed it. I mean, let's be real. Most of us toss our pennies in a jar and never look back. I used to think of mine as copper clutter. One day I even considered supergluing them to a picture frame for art. Thank goodness I didn't. Imagine gluing $1.1 million to a piece of cardboard. Now, here's where it gets intense. As more collectors become aware of the 1972 no-mint mark penny's value, the competition is growing. Every year, fewer are found in pristine condition, making those that remain even more desirable. Some believe these coins are still out there, unclaimed, unseen, waiting in a forgotten sock drawer or the back of a glove compartment. What if you're sitting on one right now and don't even know it? What if, in the next 5 minutes, you could change your future? We're not talking about a lottery ticket with terrible odds. This is real. Tangible. You either have the penny, or you don't. But unless you check, unless you know what to look for, you could miss the opportunity of a lifetime. And trust me, the people buying these coins? They know exactly what they're looking for. Here's how you can tell if your 1972 no-mint mark penny is the jackpot version. Grab a magnifying glass, yes, like a real treasure hunter, and examine the front, the obverse. Look closely at the date. If you see clear, strong doubling on the 1972, on Liberty, and on In God We Trust, you might be holding one of the most valuable coins in the world. If it's bright red, uncirculated, and in near perfect condition, you could be looking at 7 figures. And here's what you do next: don't clean it. Ever. Cleaning can reduce its value significantly. Place it in a protective coin holder, then take it to a certified coin dealer or grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can verify its authenticity and help you get it into the right auction where serious collectors are waiting. Wallets wide open. So, the question now is, will you check your change or let this moment pass you by? Because while you're watching this video, someone else is digging through their drawer, and they might beat you to it. Don't let someone else claim your fortune. Take a few minutes. Examine your coins. And who knows? The path to your wealthy lifestyle might begin with a penny. If you found this story inspiring, and you want more real opportunities hiding in plain sight, make sure to hit that subscribe button, tap the notification bell, and join our growing community of smart collectors and treasure hunters. Because next week, we're revealing another coin with an even more shocking price tag. And trust me, you won't want to miss it. Imagine reaching into your old coin jar, pulling out a dusty penny from decades ago, only to discover it's worth more than a house. Sounds like a dream, right? But for one lucky collector, that exact dream came true with a 1975 D-mint mark Lincoln penny. This little copper beauty, once worth just 1 cent, now commands a staggering value of $1.2 million in the collector's market. Yes, you heard that right, a penny worth over $1 million. Before you rush to dump your piggy bank on the kitchen table, hold on. There's more to this story than just luck. This video isn't just about a rare coin, it's about your opportunity to change your financial future by learning what to look for, how to identify valuable errors, and why collectors are throwing cash, serious cash, at this elusive 1975 penny. And if you've ever said to yourself, I wish I could find something valuable in my own home, then this might just be your golden ticket. Well, copper in this case. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes this penny so rare, why the demand is skyrocketing, and what to do if you find one. Oh, and we've got a twist at the end that might just blow your mind. Gerald Ford is president, gas costs just over 50 cents a gallon, and the Lincoln penny continues its humble journey through American pockets. But among the billions minted that year at the Denver Mint, something remarkable happened. A tiny handful of these coins were struck with subtle, almost invisible minting errors, flaws so rare that today, they have transformed these coins into highly sought-after collectors' treasures. A penny with a mistake? Why would that be worth anything? Great question. Let's reset your attention here. Have you ever seen someone pay thousands of dollars for an upside-down postage stamp? It's not the perfection, it's the imperfection that creates value. And in the coin world, error coins are hotter than ever. The 1975 penny, when struck off-center, double-die, or even with a repunched mint mark, becomes more than a currency. It becomes history, art, and rarity all wrapped in copper. The most prized example discovered? A 1975 penny with a dramatic double-die obverse, where Lincoln's profile and inscription show a bold doubling effect visible even without a microscope. The error was crisp, obvious, and untouched by circulation. That single coin recently fetched $1.2 million at a private auction. And the best part? Experts believe there are still more out there, hidden in collections, tucked away in drawers, or jingling in change jars, waiting to be found. Now, I know what you're wondering. What if I have one? Hold that thought. We'll get to how to check and what to do in just a moment. But first, let me share a quick story. A couple from Colorado was clearing out their late uncle's belongings when they stumbled upon a coffee can filled with old coins. They almost threw it away. But something told them to take a closer look. Inside? A 1975 penny that had been sitting unnoticed for over 40 years. They nearly fainted when they found out it could be worth six figures. Moral of the story? Don't throw away that old coffee can. Also, who even keeps coins in a coffee can anymore? That's so vintage it hurts. So what now? First, go find your old coins. Yes, go ahead and dig them out after this video. Look for the 1975 mint mark just below the date. Use a magnifier, check for doubling in the words Liberty or In God We Trust. Look for off-center strikes, repunched marks, and any abnormalities in Lincoln's profile. And here's the exciting part. Thanks to increased demand and rising auction prices, collectors and dealers are aggressively seeking these coins right now. The market is hot, and it's only getting hotter. A coin you've overlooked could be your retirement plan, your vacation home, or your ticket to that luxury lifestyle you've dreamed of. But don't wait. As word spreads, more coins are being pulled into collections and disappearing from circulation. Every moment you delay, someone else might be finding the jackpot penny you were meant to discover. And just before we go, remember that twist I mentioned? One private collector is offering a $50,000 finder's bonus for a specific 1975 penny variety not yet discovered. That means your penny might not only be worth millions, it could break a world record. If this inspired you, if it lit that spark of excitement, or made you run to your drawer just to peek, you owe it to yourself to stay on this journey. Hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and join our growing community of everyday Americans discovering extraordinary treasures. Next time, we're diving into another coin that just might be sitting in your purse, waiting to make you rich. Until then, check those pennies. The $1 million one could be yours.